Never needed plan B, sticking to your memory.
Are you ready?
So we're not wagging around on you. People know you from here, chillin' on your God. You always get the plan A, 'cause I'm a mission like the dust. Never needed plan B, sticking to your memory, and this is where we be.
Greetings. Welcome to episode 14 of Classic Touring Car Racing Club. The big dog thought he was going to be on the screen straight away, but he stitched me up at the beginning. I stitched him up back. But the good news is the main man is here.
Hello, mate. You're
Dude.
I'm chucking my phone over my shoulder.
You were all ready then, weren't you? You were all ready.
I was just getting ready for it. It just took my air out a little bit. You know, it's a bit hot down here.
I know. I had the window closed because I thought my neighbours probably don't want to hear me rabbiting away. But I was like, no, window's back open again. No good.
Really hot tonight, isn't it?
It
Raining
is.
earlier, but it's sort of nice evening now. So,
Yeah. It's
hey ho, how you been?
Yeah, I've been good, thanks, mate. Crazy busy. Holiday thrown in the middle. Well, when I eventually got on the holiday, but yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah, you had a lovely time. Two is your favourite, isn't it?
I will never go with them again. Never ever.
Good to see. Good to see,
2 days going around Birmingham Airport with lies and half truths was not good. But we got away with Jet2 in the end for a holiday in Turkey, which was possibly an even better resort as it happened. But you got to love all-inclusive plus, mate. I'd done you proud. Is that they had international brand drinks everywhere. You know, the whiskies, the brandies, the vodkas, the beer, everything. It was amazing.
Glad it was all right in the end.
Yeah, we got there. How have you been there, mate? I mean, last time we saw each other was at Brands Hatch for Super Touring Live. Have you recovered yet?
Yeah, you know what? We just did a committee meeting before this. I hadn't got to speak to the guys for a long time because it's just been chaos with Croft and Snetterton and the rest of it. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Different, but yeah, it was good. It was an enjoyable meeting. The weather kind of held out. The racing was amazing, and so yeah, you know, we're really pleased with it. It went well. It looks all right from where you were sitting.
Oh, mate, it was absolutely amazing. Genuinely, it was. I was exhausted by the end of the 2 days because there was just so much excitement that, you know, my job is to sort of get carried away with it on the microphone, of course, which then, you know, to be just constant at that level was just fabulous. It really was one hell of a show that you guys organising put on, the drivers put on with the racing. It was just really, really special. And of course, everything going on off track as well. And then partying with you guys on the Saturday night. And, you know, Colin et al. Tried desperately to get me to have a hangover for the Sunday, but I fought through and was good.
No, it was good. It was good. It was nice to that so many people came out to support it. I think club members, sort of present and past. You know, even the people in the show. A lot of I'm not sure if some of the people are aware, but a lot of some of the cars in the show were past club members that actually still want to be part of the club but don't really want to race anymore. And they've got these lovely old cars. So no, thank you to everybody that got involved. I was talking to David literally like an hour ago, actually, about the dates for Super Tourer Power 3. So we'll all be revealed in the next few weeks.
Well, perfect timing then. Mark Finney says, evening, guys. Power 3 ? So I can bring the Astra.
I'd love to see the Astra back. It's an awesome car, and a very nice owner as well. So yeah, it'd be nice to see it. And there will be one. We just, to be honest, there was some questions around dates with, I think it was British Superbikes or World Superbikes. So you got to, you know how it all falls together. There's sort of a tier that happens, and we're kind of mid tier, but we're certainly not organising British GT or British Superbike dates for sure. So once that all gets confirmed, we'll do some. I think we'll do something. I'm not sure when, what, but that will be how it will look. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll be there.
Good. I like the sound of that. I love this. Sonia's actually put up, Chris Dawes, you never had a hangover because I fed you. Bless you, Sonia. You really did. Is that after Colin just, I mean, I was double parked most of the night because he was doing it deliberate. He's going, come on, drink up, drink up, drink up. He says, I'm going to have you hungover tomorrow morning. And then we went back to their motorhome in the centre paddock, and Sonia cooked up a wonderful barbecue of meat for us all. And it just sorted me out. So thank you, Sonia.
And I was
You
asleep.
were. You were. I was like, where have you gone?
I was playing cards with the kids. I was playing Uno actually with the kids, and I went to sleep.
Mate, I'm
So,
not
yeah, no,
surprised on that front. I mean, you nearly overdid it, didn't you, with the amount that you were racing?
it was a bit of a silly idea trying to do 8 races, but we nearly did it. There was a bit of an incident in the first race at the Indy, but it is
With
what it
Dick
is.
Dastardly.
Yes, yes. So it's a shame, but it is what it is, right? It's all done. Everyone shakes hands and moves on. We don't need to put it all over social media. So yeah, you know, yeah, really pleased with Super Terra Power 2, and hopefully we do it again.
No, I hope so, mate. Genuinely, it was just wonderful to commentate on. I'm sure you're aware is that I don't always have brilliant race meets that I'm commentating on, or you know, wall-to-wall good races. But it was just both days. Day one, of course, on the GP, second on the Indy, and just the spirit, the atmosphere was amazing. And I went back to the hotel at the end of the day, sat down exhausted. I was like, no, get changed, and then walk back into the circuit and catch up with you all in the bar. I missed dinner altogether though, because I missed it in the hotel and in Kentigern. But as soon as well, exactly, and I didn't even get in the bar. Literally, it was like chatting to everyone because the weather was nice, as you said. Is that everybody outside chatting there, then gradually in, and it was just you know, so lovely to see so many of you all out socialising with each other, and so welcoming of everybody. It was lovely.
Yeah, no, Brand's put on a great meeting. We've got a great relationship with MSV now. And they look after us. They try, you know, they make. Well, you know, the ethos of the whole thing was I didn't want it just to be kind of always about Super Tour, although it is Super Tour Power. It's about everybody, and I want everyone to sort of feel appreciated of what they've done, which is why we sort of try and put some drinks and some food on and stuff, and just sort of say thank you to them and make it special for people. It's nice to feel special. It's nice to go to a special event. You know, it's great going to wherever you're going to go, whichever racetrack in the country, but it's nice that you know, it's open for you. It's you know, it's a good thing in a way that MSV, you know, letting people, you know, normally, you know, we can't get until 6 o'clock and all that. People getting there on like Wednesday, you know, it was bananas how early. And in fact, Anton, I've got to mention it because I think he got there on Tuesday, right? And he got there very early to get his spot. But it's nice. It's nice that they let us get in there, get our spots. People were happy. I did feel, sadly, some of the driving standards sort of let the side down a little bit, and that's being addressed at Snetterton this week. This being looked at. But you know, I felt maybe, you know, if we did it again, I think we maybe try and, in fact, we will try and sort of split it all out a little bit more and put sort of less, maybe a few less cars on grids, but rather than packing it all together.
Right.
I just feel that there was too many cars, two different championships there, and some drivers sort of got carried away with themselves. So we just, you know, you learn, right? We have to learn. Life is a learning curve, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was the only downside on it, really. Other than that, the feedback was great. You know, Autosport did a great piece on it. You know, all of the sort of celebrities. You know, I got out of my car. I got out of my car slightly warmer than usual, bum first, which is not the nicest way to get out of a touring car, but it's the only way I can get over the roll cage. And John Clennon was standing there laughing at me, which was. And I just said to him, "I'm a bit taller than you," and he just said, "Yeah, I can see that." But it was, it was moments like that. It's nice. It was nice for people to sort of meet their heroes. So yes, a long may it last. But yeah, good all round. And
I've got to say, the other thing that was
Thank
cool was the remote control cars and whatnot that were prizes on the podium. They were awesome. I was very jealous.
So you guys all know that I'm a massive nerd and love Tamiya and grew up racing Tamiya cars around my garden mainly. And I spoke to Anne, who's like the sort of Tamiya. He's ever say it. He said the correct way of saying it is Tamiya. You have to say it like that. Anyway, yeah, he's and said, "Look, we do something surprises. I want the whole Super Tour Power to be a retro feel, everything to be retro about it." And I know that a lot of the people there grew up with RC cars and model kits and the rest of it. So we've got them involved. They're going to be involved. They've actually asked to be involved next time, before next time's even been announced, and try and put a bigger stand there and maybe how they used to. Because when I used to get a touring car as a kid, they used to have a big tent up. We know when they had the monster trucks at Brands Hatch. They used to have a big tent, and you could go and play around, drive cars. And that's kind of where we were going with it. But yeah, they really helped us out with prizes, and hopefully that sort of brought another little touch to it that was probably missing in the past.
It was talked about on the commentary nearly every time when it was on the podium. That's for sure. It was such a cool thing. Like I say, I was very jealous, I must be honest, because it was like, wow, I remember those. I was waiting for the boomerang to appear, but I think that was the only one that didn't appear. But that was the one I had. But there we go. Just quickly catch up with the people that are messaging. Don't forget, you can message if you're watching on the post that's shared into the group. Don't comment there because it won't get seen. Go to the post that's shared, so you're actually watching it in the page. Facebook, as of I think it was April this year or something, they stopped it so that we can't broadcast to groups anymore, only pages and profiles. So we're just on the Classic Touring Car Racing Club page now, which is what's been shared into the group. But go to it if you want to ask questions or make comments. Otherwise, they don't come through. Alternatively, YouTube, and we get all of those as well. Chris Collier says, "Good evening, Chris and Stuart. Hope you're both well." Evening, Mr. Collier.
Right.
Simon Mann, hello both, says Simon.
Hello, mate.
It's one of your coordinators, isn't it?
It was just on a committee meeting. We were talking about Snetterton, actually.
Good man. Big. That's the Cadbury boy, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Steve Jackman says, "Good evening, people. See you all at the weekend." That's your tog, isn't it? One of your...
It is indeed. It's a very good point. Steve, does he need another? He needs a ticket.
Well done for putting that comment, Steve. You'll get the ticket by the sounds of it.
Sorry, I literally, as you know, I literally landed last night. I got home at whatever time it was, and I've been I'm just in a daze today. I had to go and get the camper MOT'd at Collins, and I've been running around everywhere like a whatever it is. So anyway, we are where we are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Craig Owen says it was an amazing weekend. Yeah, and what a win that was for AJ. That was emotional. That was just watching him get out.
Nice, wasn't it? I thought it was a nice thing. Sometimes with racing, it's I think there's been a lot of comments over the years of like, for all the bad days you have that one good day, and it makes you want to go back and do it again. And I think what happened with AJ at Brands was just fitting, to be honest with you, and it went well.
And I realised more just how fitting it was, having a lovely conversation with Craig. It was lovely to chat with you, mate, on the Saturday night in the Kentagon, and sort of hearing more of the story of the Mondeo and all of that. And it's great to get that personal information. And as you know, that's where, I'm one of you now. I'm ingested, and I adore everything about the club. Yeah, and it's so lovely to start hearing some of the backstories and things like that, because there's a lot more than people realise to the car and the driver that we see out on the circuit.
Very much so, very much so. And it was nice, they always support the club. They bring 2 cars to race meetings when it's, wherever we are. So it's great that they won that, and yeah, it was just right, wasn't it? It was just right way to finish it.
It was.
And yes, yeah, it was great.
It was nice. It was nice indeed. Chris Collins says, is there thought, Stuart, to move Super Tourer Power to different MSV circuits like Donington, or is it always going to be Brands?
So there was conversations about that actually. I spoke to many people. I talked to Jason Hughes a lot about this sort of thing. So there was talk about doing it at Donington, doing the South, North, whatever. I don't know at this point. I think if we did the next one, it would be at Brands. We might try and do a North and South. It depends. If we could keep growing it, then you could try and do a North and South. But it really is just conversations of, just sort of, it's all on the back of a cigarette packet at the moment. We're trying to go, it's all very fluid, I think, with the right. If I was at work, I would say it was a fluid conversation. But the answer is no.
Blue sky thinking.
Quite good to do Donington. Yeah, to circle back. But yeah, so it's yeah, it'd be nice to do it at Donington. I think it'd be lovely to see the Super Tours. I know we did a little bit earlier in the year, and it wasn't very well supported, but it was okay. But it wasn't Super Tour Power. It'd be nice to do a big festival at Donington. And take the whole kind of travelling road show that is the CTCRC up there and do a big meeting. I know David watches this, so let's see what he comes back with.
Yeah,
absolutely. But look, for the moment, Brands is great for Brands is great for people to view and to display and the rest of it. So that's sort of where it is at the minute.
No. It's just an interesting question. I thought it was worth.
No, it is and it's one that's come up time and time again, if I'm honest. But I'm sure something might happen at some point.
Yeah, watch this space. Martin Reynolds, evening, Martin. Number 27 on board for this weekend. Good man.
Oh dear, hello, Martin. There we are. We're all everybody. Snetterton is his home Grand Prix, isn't it? So
of course, yeah.
It is indeed. So he'll be out there absolutely on it, which is good to see.
I got to say as well, and I say this every time I commentate on Martin, wherever it happens to be and whatever it happens to be in, is that I love that he has the same livery in whatever car it happens to be. Commentators adore that. It's just brilliant. It is so good.
No, it is good. It's cool, and he's always been a support, or certainly been a supporter of the club the last 5-6 years, and it's very much appreciated. So yeah, he always brings a couple of cars along and always wonderful. So
yeah, absolutely. Evening, John Sandblaster Tyson. He says, good evening, Big Dog and Dawsey. Both been doing some great work. Hat off to both of you. Thank you, mate. Good man. I saw
thank you very much.
When I don't know, John was at Speedfest as well at Brands Hatch, whenever that was, the other month when I was doing that one as well. But we kind of passed like shit.
You are absolutely everywhere.
I know, mate. I know. It's mental. It is mental.
Social butterfly.
I'm sure Adam was there as well. I can't remember whether I saw him because obviously he's got the box there at Brands. But Adam Moore says, evening, guys. Evening, Adam.
Evening.
Stu Waite, evening all.
Yeah, good.
Still going well for someone who wasn't going to do the full season, isn't he?
He's doing very well for someone who wasn't doing a full season.
Love it, Stu.
Finish it off now, mightn't he?
Exactly. Keep going, champ. You got to keep going, champ. It's brilliant. And that was some amazing racing with Stu at Speedfest. I'm trying to remember. He's against one of the Cosworths, wasn't he? And you had where in the corners.
He was. You're quite right.
The Texaco one. I've forgotten who was driving that now.
Mike Manning.
Yes, and he was all over him in the corners, and he was all ready to overtake, and he got it all set up for the pass brilliantly, and then it would come to the straight, and then the Cosy would just go.
No, yeah, boom.
It was so cool to.
No,
The best thing about that was that not only was Stu doing brilliantly at getting in position ready to make the move, he had two in his actual championship chasing him that he had to be mindful if he did something too damn dare, he was then vulnerable to a pass that would actually make a difference to his point scoring.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was so cool. It was really, really good. Nick Mizzen watching. Good evening, Chris and Stuart. Evening, Nick.
Evening, Nick.
Good to hear from you, mate. Sam Strong, he's a stone's throw from Brands Hatch as well. Evening, Dawsey. Still on with engine from the 323 E30 for the pre-83. Get in there, mate. It'll be good to see you in there, Sam. Been a bit of a nightmare so far. Got a crank 3 blocks later. Got a good one. Off to Romania on the charity rally in 2 weeks. And that's in memory of his very dear late friend as well. And good luck with that, Sam. I know it's an emotional one, but best of luck. But it'll be great to see him out in the pre-83s.
It would be, yeah, very much so.
Joey Binks, watch you guys.
Yeah.
Evening, mate.
Coming out tonight, no.
That's the amazing Duckham's livery, Cozzy, isn't it?
He's not on the entry list though. The disappointment, it filled my heart when I saw he wasn't on the entry list. So I don't know. I'm sure it was a problem that happened at Brands, but I wasn't aware of it. So.
Oh, dude. Hopefully see you soon, mate. Chris Collier again says, just wanted to mention, well done, Stuart and team, I think is fair to say, for the grid put together at Croft in support of British touring cars. Fantastic entertainment.
That's right, wasn't it?
I mean, I didn't get to see it myself, but how did that go? I was commentating somewhere else.
Well, you know, if you've been there, but it was. Do you know what? It was a sort of a weekend that restored my faith in motorsport, to be honest. It was just brilliant. You know, it was nice. You know, originally we put the deal together with Toka and Motorsport UK, who invited us along to do a sort of support race to celebrate 50 years of the club. And they did it. You know, I think for me it was a shame a little bit that so many of the sort of regulars pulled out, which meant we let in people that were not regulars, who are still full members of the club. Actually, everybody had to be a full member of the club. So, but yeah, we sort of, and I think afterwards, I think people kind of kicking themselves because they should have done it, because it was not a club race. It was not the normal let's all stand in the freezing cold at Donington, and you know, we were on the TV. It was 3 races, and it was bloody brilliant, wasn't it? It really was. You know, thank you to Colin and Sonia for going up there and running the meeting. They did it, you know, smooth. It just went so well. You know, Paul O'Neill, he's sort of a friend of the club, as you know, and he was doing a commentary. It all just kind of fell together, didn't it? It all just slotted together so well when you watch that first race, and it was like brilliant.
And the bit I did see was that social media certainly seemed to be a light of compliments about that being on the bill, whether they watched it on TV or whether they were there, and sort of like calling for it to be a more regular addition to the British touring car bill, which is the biggest compliment you can get.
Absolutely, and you know, they were. Obviously, you know what I'm like with social media. I don't comment as much, but I do read it and make sure and monitor it. And the comments were great. There's a few issues with damage that people sort of seem to focus on, and it was like there was a few sort of localized incidents compared to the whole package, which was 34 wonderful cars racing. And showing them sort of what we're made of, really. So yeah, it was brilliant. I went up there with the kids, and I wasn't racing. Sadly, the car I was meant to be racing wasn't ready, which was quite a choker, but it is what it is. It was just brilliant, and it was just special. You know, there has been a conversation about a phone call was had, shall we say, a few days afterwards, that just how brilliant it was, and maybe they could, you know, would we be interested? So we'll see.
Nice, fingers crossed, mate. Well done. And Sonia says it was a good weekend despite the negative social media comments. So there's obviously some negative ones as well. I didn't see those. I was so proud to be part of the meeting. It was an amazing experience. I think Paul O'Neill commentary put it all together. See, that's what I'd love to do, is have it where it's me and Paul O'Neill commentating on you guys at some point. That would be a giggle.
But yeah, you know, it was cool. I don't know whether, even if we could do it again, I'm not sure we should, because sometimes, you know, as Mr. Adam Moore will tell you, you know, if I've had a good Friday night out, I wouldn't go out on a Saturday because you've done it, you've had a great night, leave it where it is.
Yeah, you were,
So,
yeah.
you know, but there's lots of conversations at the moment. It's nice because, you know, when we first took this club over, you know, it was difficult to get grids, and now people are falling over themselves to offer them to us.
Which
So we
is
can
good.
through what we can
That
do,
is good.
and when we do it.
James Ibbotson, it was a fantastic meeting supporting the BTCC. I'm glad I did it. Shame to see a few bent cars, but everyone was trying hard for the telly.
They were trying hard. They'd all got a bit excited,
A bit fruity.
They did get a bit carried away, but I should say special mention to Mr. Ibbotson, who stole the show with his bow and picking up his exhaust pipe. He absolutely stole the show, and it also was such a nice. It was. How can I say that? It was such a nice thing to see on the TV. Was it getting out, picking up his exhaust, putting it back in his car, and driving off? It was such a nice thing. So grounding. There you are. Such a grounding, nice thing to see. And thank you, because he put on a great show in his little limit. It's brilliant. And I hope he does the same at the weekend at Snetterton.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping it real. I like it. Sonia says he
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
stop
He was keeping it real. Yeah.
Paul O'Neill didn't stop giggling, apparently. Kevin Swan says, was brilliant to have been involved at such a meeting. It's kept us busy since he got home. And I can understand that.
Yes, and thank you for Kevin and Jay for both getting their cars back together. They did suffer damage, and they've both worked extremely hard to get their cars back together for this race meeting at Snetterton, which is focused around 66. You know, the guys got their garages, they've got some love, and it'll be a sort of cracking meeting for them. So yeah, thank you both.
It will. And before we move on to Snetterton, just quickly catch up with the comments. Stu Waite says the highlight of Brands was coming home with not one but two. How would you say we got to say it? Tamiya.
It's Tamiya. It's not. I always say Tamiya. You say Tamiya. Yeah. It's Tamiya.
Tamiya models taken right back to my childhood and better than any trophy I've ever won. That's lovely to hear, mate.
Brilliant.
Steve Monster Dog Dow says, evening Big Dog and Dawesy, got you guys on in the background in the workshop prepping for the weekend.
Brilliant.
Good man. Good man. Matt Clary says, looking forward to a great day's racing on Sunday. Something special about the classic cars. 100%. I agree with you. And we've got someone watching from over in Ireland. John Hendricks says, the BTCC show was great to see. I have been following the touring cars since John Cleland in the first Vectra. And he did do one before. He said, greetings from Wexford, Ireland. Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to visit the tracks in the UK. However, I'm truly grateful for the amazing coverage provided by the Classic Touring Car Racing Club YouTube channel. And he says, long shot here, but would you ever consider coming over to Mondello Park here in Ireland for a weekend?
Do you know what? We were contacted a few years ago from Mondello Park about doing something, and he was trying to make it all work financially with the shipping and with the ferries and all the rest of it. So nothing's off the board. Everything is always considered. It would be nice to do an away day. I'm not sure it's going to happen just yet, but thank you very much, John.
No, that's what I thought. Lovely, lovely to hear that. Thanks for getting involved, John. Much appreciated. So we've reminisced about the amazing Super Touring Power weekend at Brands. We've wallowed in the success of Croft under the British touring cars. Stuart Tinker Taylor for facade soft core at Castle Coombe. Hi, Chris. Are they going to race at Coombe? Well, I presume you mean next year. They're not here this year, sadly. Next year, and I know that we're I'm trying to sort of do my bit in the background as well. I wouldn't go as far as say sorting it out.
you sort it out. I'll sit Colin on
you. We definitely hope so, aren't we?
No, yeah, and they rang up. The conversation is that as it goes, who's the chap that called Colin?
Richard Beard.
Richard called Colin. Colin said, "Have a chat with Stuart," and I was on holiday. The thing for us is trying to make it work because it has to be a 2-day event. And I know a lot of the Coombe stuff is a single-day event, which is a bit of an issue. But yeah, we're trying to make a lot of things work for 2025 that fit with we always do the month by month, because a lot of people do race on their pay packet. And I like coming to Combe, and I think we all like coming to Combe, to be honest with you. We have a great time. Racing's amazing. It's bumpy and fast and all the other bits and bobs that happen down there, and that's just the bar. So yeah, it's we would try and make something work. We normally do Thruxton or Combe. Thruxton, we try and do, and obviously we're at Thruxton at the end of the year. So that's sort of where we are with it. It's up in the air at the moment, would be the answer to that.
Yeah, and I needed to come back to Combe so I can actually complete the race meeting without being rushed to hospital.
Yeah, I mean, nearly dying last time was a bit of a pain, but
Yeah.
if you this time, if you could, and again, Stuart looked after you, didn't he? Yeah, but yeah, if you could do that, that'd be we'd all appreciate it.
I'll try my best, mate. I'll try my best. Gary Preble's watching. Evening, guys. Evening, Mr. P.
Evening, Gary.
Good to hear from you. Melvin Hooker says, hi, Stuart. Car's on the way back. Dyno booked 12th of September. All things good. Thruxton.
Brilliant.
So,
Brilliant
fingers
stuff.
crossed
I love that car. It's a lovely old thing. It really is.
Yeah. Bless him. John Hendrick from Ireland says, here's to hoping about you guys going over.
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And now he says, but on to the next at Snetterton. So let's do it. Busy schedule, isn't it? You're actually there with my dear friends of the Caterham graduates as well. I love those guys. I hosted their awards for about 5 or 6 years in a row as well. And they're a great bunch there. But you've not only got all of your championships racing, you've got sort of a delayed Cadwell race for the pre-66s as well.
Yeah, so because Bart cancelled the 366 race at Cadwell, it was decided we'd offer them the next available meeting. Obviously, Brands Hatch was an MSVR meeting, so it wasn't under Bart. It was. So we've given them the Cadwell race that didn't happen will happen at Snetterton. So they will start and race as they would have done if on Sunday's race at Snet. Sadly, a few of them can't make it, which is a shame, because I think there'll be a cracking little event for 66, if I'm honest. But they will be the first race on Saturday, and then once that's done, then everybody else can join it. Because you've got to remember, even if I wanted to go and race my Cortina, I can't race in that race because that's as
you
it
weren't
was.
at Cadwell.
I weren't there, and so because a few people have asked if it's possible, and it isn't possible to run it under Motorsport UK regulations. It has to be as it was, and so people will have to sit that out. But it does mean they've still got 2 great races over the weekend for those that are not, and also those cars in 66 are eligible for pre-83 as a second race at £99. So there's a lot of racing going on. A lot of people. I was really worried about this event. It was really quiet for up to about 2 weeks ago, and I thought this is it. We're finished. And then kind of everybody kind of bundled in the last few days. All right, fine. People seem to be entering today, and I was like, all right, well, off you go.
Yeah.
And it's good because we've got decent numbers, lovely grids, and bit of a barbecue Saturday night.
Cool.
It's quite nice. So it's funny enough. There's something I needed to sort of mention about this meeting, which was there isn't any scrutineering for CTCRC cars, and we've only just we're just discussing it actually in the committee meeting. So I want to discuss it here because people need to be aware of it. But there isn't any scrutineering. He says it in the finals. There's nothing there. And we've told our drivers, and so I'm telling everybody who's watching the show. What we are going to do, because we do have our scrutineers there, is we will do some spot checks around the paddock, sort of as people are casually wandering around, having a look at the cars and seeing what is and isn't legal. So don't see this as a free ticket to bolt a turbo on your Mini in '66. So the cars will be checked, and they will be checked in Parc Fermé. It just won't be checked in the morning, which Colin is going to pick up with Buck tomorrow. But we just noticed it in the finals. It's, you know, it sort of sprung upon us like we're springing it upon you now, but there isn't any there. So at least I guess you're not going to be standing in your overalls in the hot sun on Saturday morning. So
Okay.
strange. But there you go.
Very, very bizarre, that one. I'm gutted that I'm missing this one because I'd love to commentate on you guys going around the 300. It would be really impressive, but I'm hosting.
You've got a posh thing happening to you.
I don't know whether posh is the right word, but yeah, I'm hosting the motorsport arena at the British Motor Show. I've got to leave at like 6 o'clock tomorrow morning to start day one of it tomorrow morning. So
Got my violin somewhere.
I knew you'd give me the feels there, mate. I knew you would.
That'd be
But
good.
no,
You're up there for 3 days, are you?
all 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'll probably be, I can't remember, it's something like 75 to 100,000 people or something over the 4 days. And I'm going to have to come out of my shell, I think.
Not like you.
No. I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Yeah,
by the way, Melvin Hooker says thanks, Stuart Caie, for the. Do you notice I got your surname right at last there?
You did. My wife told you. Did Holly told you, didn't she? She was like,
Yes.
say, I hadn't really noticed because I'm always in the car leading the race. I hadn't noticed you pronounced my name wrong. But,
always,
you always big dog or whatever. When you're on the
is that? Yeah. But I've got it right now.
I did embrace it, Brands, but yeah.
But
yeah,
he says thank you for your comment on that one. Barry Syme says, evening all, Barry and Jimmy Syme here, loading up, ready for another long journey. They are legends. Just leave those back markers alone this time, Barry.
Unbelievable.
They are legends that just keep going, don't they?
Yeah, it's great. And you know, people like that supporting the club. It's great. You know, they go above and beyond. And they were at Croft. You know, they've pretty much. In fact, they have done pretty much every race this year. I'm sure they've done every race. And it's nice. It's nice to have people like that in the club, families in the club.
I love that mini as well.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, the mini's lovely that they bring down as well. But yeah, Melvin Hooker says, supercharger on my Jag. Oh, I already have one. James Ibbotson, RC Cars, Friday night. What's the plan?
You know what? And actually, you know what? Sonia texted me about this because I was talking to Ibbotson. In fact, I wasn't. I was talking to Kevin Swan. And he's got his radio control cars. And I said, someone who'd made a model of my car, and I bought it, and I was like, well, maybe we should all just take our radio control cars, just all being nerds together. We've got the pit lane to ourselves on Friday night, so you might as well just sit there with our buggies. Yeah. So I will try and get the old batteries out and charge up a few things, and might take our cars up there. I don't see why not. But I know Kevin. Literally, I texted Kevin earlier. Went, "You can take your car." So if Mr. Ibbotson wants to join us, we'll be able to carry around control cars.
There's more people that have them now after being given them as prizes at Brand. So let's do it.
There is, yeah, there is. Hopefully they've built them, yeah. But yeah, please visit us at Garage One, and we'll get our buggies out and have a little play.
Exactly right. Sandblaster Tyson says, just wanted to say Super Tourer 2 was my first one, and got to say, Stuart, is the best large meeting I've been to in ages. Great atmosphere, great cars, and the quality of racing was brilliant. Thank you for a great meeting. Now just get your Rover out there, John.
I need to see that car moving. It's so cool.
Definitely. I can't wait. I can't wait. But yeah, I thought that was a lovely comment to put up. Adam Wood says, evening all. Evening
another
to you,
legend.
Adam. Yeah. And Anton Martin, another early arriver, says, is it Saturday yet? He's not getting to Snetterton's early.
He'll be there tomorrow. I guarantee he'll be there tomorrow. And what day? Yeah, he will be. It's Thursday. Definitely be there tomorrow. getting his spot. Fair play to him as well.
Absolutely. Love it. So in terms of the weekend then, so Yeah, so pre-lunch you've got the Cadwell Park. I mean, I was commentating with you guys at Cadwell Park, and that weather was blooming awful, wasn't it?
It's horrific, wasn't it?
Yeah, really, really
It's one
bad.
of them meetings where I think, you know, it was 50-50 whether it was going to be cancelled, and it sort of went the other way. And there's never a right decision in them situations, I don't think. And you know, we've done what we've done to try and give people their race back and their sort of value for money. Some people haven't come, and some people say, well, you know, it's not fair, this, that, but we're trying to do the best thing, right? No one gets out of bed in the morning and says, I want to do a bad job. So we try and do the best for everybody.
It's a no-win situation, isn't it? Without question, there's no doubt about it. I mean, there was
It
was hard kicking back.
Yeah,
no, I mean,
yeah.
and it was. I was there in the commentary tower and going like, right, are we going to get going? Are we get going? And then you think it was getting better, and then suddenly it would come back again, and you watch the safety car go along the start-finish straight, and just see this bow wave coming off of it, and it's just like, wow, that's never going to work. But it did clear up, but then like the minis, they disappeared by that point. They've gone, oh, forget it, the Mini 7s, and it's like you could have got a race in, guys. You'd have been all right, but
you know what? We was in Park Ferme. We was camping in Park Ferme, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I was sitting there and looking at the back window of my camper, if I'm honest, and just watching these cars, the MGs coming in, just smashed to pieces. And I was saying to Colin, I was like, this is just not.
Oh, have I lost you? I've lost the big dog. He's gone. He'll come back in a minute. I'm assuming it's the big dog rather than me. But James Ibbotson says the weather was perfect. I remember you, James, you were down below my commentary box where you couldn't get away at the start, and you were working on it, and then you got out, and it was great watching you come through from the back, and you jumped into a different car as well. He'll be back in a minute, don't worry. John Sandblaster Tyson says he's gone asleep. I have that effect on people, I really do. He's disappeared altogether now, but he'll be back. He'll be back. Anton says, I'm there tomorrow testing the M3 with Simon. Good man. He was right. You're going to be there tomorrow, but that's late by your standards, isn't it? Kevin Swan says that race at Cadwell, I've never nipped my butt cheeks together so tight. I can imagine it was like grabbing at the seat, wasn't it? I can imagine, but I've always thought that it's hard because I know that they say that you're supposed to relax your hands when you're driving, but I bet with that weather it was just like grip it and rip it. It just did not look good at all. Colin Rooney says, you have very little chance of ever seeing John Sandblaster Tyson's Rover out. He's too busy drinking coffee. I'm not one to stir her out, John, but Colin's getting involved there. Adam Wood says, Stuart giving the Dr. Evil pose. It did pause on that, didn't it? Keep an half an eye to see if he messages me to say that he'll be back in a minute. And James Ibbotson says, this is what it was when you were stopped in the pit lane. Clutch fork snapped, had to start the car in first gear from the pit lane and race with no clutch. Wow. If it's any consolation, mate, it was fun watching it come through the field. It was great fun to watch that one. And like I say, you sort of almost guessed it in another one, don't you? And that was great to watch you involved in that one as well. John's response, Colin Cravendale legs. I feel like I'm stirring up something there. We're still waiting for the big dog to come back in a minute. He'll be all right. So, as we say, pre-lunch on the Saturday, the first race of the whole weekend after the qualifying is the Pre-66 Cadwell race. And then after that, we're into all of the action. It looks like you've got the Caterham Grads, the 135s and the 150s, plus the Track Action Racing Club and the Junior Saloon Car Championship. They were with you guys at Cadwell Park, weren't they? They were really good. I was really impressed at how they've improved. It used to be crash, bang, wallop, but they were really, really talented. So good bunch of youngsters there. But we've got the pre-83s and the pre-93s. the Thunders on their own, the Pre-03 and the Blue Oval Saloon, the Boss Series, and then Pre-66 at the end of the day. I say at the end of the day, it just sounds like there's going to be some radio control racing at the end of the day on that Saturday. So enjoy that and a barbecue and whatever else. On to the Sunday, just the one qualifying session by the looks of it. Oh, no, two, because there's a special one that the catering grads are doing later in the day for friends and family. They're getting friends and family out. And I'm gutted because I could have probably gone and done that one, but I'm already busy somewhere else, as we said. But Uncle Luke's Snetterton Saloons qualifying. Then it's pre-66s, pre-83, pre-93s, Thunders, pre-03 and Blue Oval Saloons. And that's actually rounding out your action. So you guys are all finished by lunchtime. So it doesn't matter that it's the friends and family that I mentioned there. Melvin Hooker says, I think Stuart has gone to work on his car. The question is, though, Melvin, by the sounds of it, we can't guarantee it's his race car. It might be his radio control car. He sounds a bit excited about that, doesn't he? He's getting a bit fruity about his radio control car and plans to enjoy that one by the sounds of it. It sounds like you can keep the entries coming in. Pre-66s have got a good number in by the looks of it. Pre-83s, not bad. Could probably do with a few more in that one, and the pre-93s as well. Pre-03s, again, keep the numbers coming in. The Blue Oval Saloons and the Historic Thunders. See, Stuart Caie's now phoning me. I'll tell you what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to do this live on air. Hi, Stu, you're live on air. Oh, no, really? Fair enough. That's fine. I will do. There, if anyone didn't believe this was live, now you know it is, all right? He's just said his internet's dropped out and he can't get back on. He's trying. He'll be with us in a couple of minutes, he reckons. We'll see. We'll see if we get this wrapped up or not. But, yeah, great numbers in the classic and historic Thunders. Good to see that AJ's out. AJ's out in his Honda. I just spotted that one as well. Ricky Can is doing it all on his own in the Aston Martin. I like this. One to watch in the Thunder, number 69. There he is, Stephen Dowell in the Jaguar XKR. Well, it sounds like he's got the turbo in, but he's allowed it in. So who is on comms or don't you know, Chris? The answer is I don't know, mate. I'm not sure. I don't think that Bark actually put, I'm just looking at the finals to see. When MSV put finals together, it does tell you who the commentary team are, but I don't think it does on the Bark one. Let me just, oh no, I am. Dave Goddard and Mark Werrell. There you go. It's Dave Goddard and Mark Werrell for that one as well. Craig Owen, good man. So Craig's out there in Bluey as well. So the Sierra is going to be out, and it's the Honda for AJ. Melvin has asked in the Thunders, is there any Paul Eaton? Yep, Paul Eaton's in it. He's in that one. So Paul Eaton's out in the Holden Commodore, but no Abby. So Paul's doing it on his own by the looks of that one. Abby's not mentioned. So yeah, that's the plan. Just double checking to see if there's any newbies out there. Nick the Prawn Vaughan out in his A3 as well, of course. Clive Hainsford in the Mazda RX-8. I think he missed Brands, didn't he, from memory, which would be a shame. In terms of the championship standings at the moment, I don't really need to tell you guys this because you know it already, because it's your championship fights, and I'm sure that you're absolutely glued to this. But pre-66s at the moment. Let's have a look. 108 points, I think, is that leading it? Yep, 108 points. Ian Thompson in Class F. 106 points for Luke Wilson in Class D, and 104 points for Adrian Oliver in Class E. So 108, 106, 104 for the top three. Wow, that's amazing. So the pre-66 championship is very much alive and kicking. Pre-83s, It is Stephen Primmett leading the way again on 152 points, 155 for Jonathan Corker, and 114 for Nick Williamson in Class B. So 1 point separating second and third as it stands at the moment. Pre-93s, Stuart Caie, I said about it earlier, is that he is leading the way again on 154 points in his Beamer. In second place is Terry Davis on 80, and then Ian Bauer on 74. The pre-03s, it is Gary Prebble on 152. We heard from Gary a little while ago. He is leading the pre-03s in his Class C car 152. But Anton Martin's not far behind on 143. And then John Hillier on 105. So let's keep that fight alive. The Blue Oval Saloons, very close. Will Hunt on 105 on his Class D car. Ollie Allen in his Fiesta on 103 points in Class S. And then in third place is Tim Mizzen in Class D and Piers Grange on 85. So that's crazy close as well. The Thunders, of course, we've got the two Thunders these days, haven't we? So Classic Thunder. Let's have a look. It appears Ian Bauer's leading the way on 105. 92 for Josh Lawton, 77 for Andy Robinson, 78 for Colin Voice. So there's quite a lot in the mix there. Colin Voice, of course, is leading the Historic Thunder officially. And 44 for Melvin Hooker. Melvin, we heard you. You're second in the Historic Thunders at the moment. And Martin Reynolds, number 27. We heard from him earlier. He's on 43. Group A, 49 points for Paul Mensley. Daniel Brown, 47. Super Tourers being led by, just make sure, 45 points for Alex Morgan, 31 for AJ Owen, and 27 for Jake Hill. So that's the standings as it stands at the moment. And Matt Clary says, can't wait to hear the V8 supercars down the back straight. Now you're making me even more jealous that I'm missing out on this. I'm absolutely gutted. I really, really am. So the big dog's still not managing to get in. Bless him. I'm sure his internet's gone down. They've had a power cut in the thunderstorms or something, his neck of the woods. Who knows? Either that or he's got to go and feed his hamster on the running wheel to keep the power going. I don't know. It's one or the other. Who knows? It's the big dog. Anything's possible with him. He's always getting a bit fruity, as he says. But I think that kind of pretty much brings us to the end. We've covered, we've looked back at Brands Hatch Super Tourer. Guys, seriously, I cannot compliment you enough, both as the organising body and you all as racing drivers. It was an absolute pleasure to commentate on, and it was so much fun to be part of. And I'm sure all the spectators feel the same way. And the spirit in the bar afterwards, it was lovely to be with you guys again. The Pre-66 is up at Croft, not without its challenges, it sounds like, but brilliant job, and certainly a lot of fans that were gained along the way. And then you're at Snetterton this weekend. Brilliant circuit to go and race on, I would assume, because it certainly looks good from our side of things. And you're all there with good grids. Dan Blake says, looking forward to seeing these at the weekend if time allows. Clark in for the track action and Snetterton Saloons. So there you go. He's in the office, but he's hoping to be able to see you guys. Have a wonderful time. You've got RC cars out in the pit lane on the Saturday night. You've got a barbecue on the go as well. All sorts of things. Stay safe, race hard, keep the rubber down, and just go for it. There are championships getting towards the fighty end now, and that then starts making me remember that I'll be hosting your awards do as well, and we'll have another great big party together as well, which I can't wait for. Keep entertaining, keep enjoying your cars. It's an absolute pleasure. Thanks to John. Well done, Dawesy. Thank you, mate. God, keep it going, haven't I, with the big dog gone? But bless him. What's he said to me now? I can't even read his text. Let's just translate that to it's broken. I'm sure you guys have used the same language all the time. Chris Collis says, enjoy your weekend, mate. I will at the British Motor Show off crazy early tomorrow morning. But I genuinely am gutted to be missing you guys at Snetterton. Have a wonderful time. It's been great to be here with you this evening, getting excited about it. We'll catch up with you next time. And of course, we'll be reviewing and previewing after this as well. So keep your eyes peeled. But for now, have a cracking, what are we on? Wednesday evening, and enjoy your Snetterton. Cheers all.